I'd like to introduce the brief meditation. Okay, great. So, just to bring us all in the moment, what I'd like to invite everyone to do, if you wouldn't mind, if you please, is just to close your eyes and start breathing in and out through your nose. And I'll show you like this. And as you're doing it, I'll keep my eyes closed. I want to invite you also to notice the temperature change as the air is coming in through your nostrils and as it's exiting your nostrils. And what you may notice is as it's coming in, it's much cooler. And as it's coming out, it's okay to laugh, it's funny. Everything's normal, I'm not judging, no one's judging, it's okay. There's no wrong way to do this. It's just about getting yourself here in the moment. It's okay. It's okay to laugh. It's okay, I'm with you. Now that we're in this place, please stay there. And just, if you can, this feeling of gratitude, if you can feel that inside of you, and just use it to thank Hashem for giving us the gift of life, for giving us the gift of seeing each other, being a part of each other's lives. How lucky we are to be here. You know, I know today is a very sad day. The Beit HaMikdash is destroyed. But we're still here, we're still together. We still have each other, we still have our religion. Keep breathing, please don't stop. And now, I welcome you back to the present moment, to the here and now. You can open up your eyes. And I hope that brief meditation, I hope that you felt what I feel every day, which is gratefulness. You know, when I get up in the morning, I am grateful. I'm grateful to be alive. I thank Hashem right away. And then I start my day. And I choose how to look at the day from the minute I open my eyes. And I'm wishing to give you that same method that I use to feel good and to feel like, you know what, I'm lucky. I am really lucky to be able to open my eyes today and to enjoy what I have. And with that being said, we'll wait for everyone else to come in. Thank you.
On behalf of the SCA, Supply Community Alliance, I want to thank everybody for coming today. What we try and do as a member organization is we try and pull together the affiliates of all of our different organizations and have representation. Supply Community is one of those affiliates that is maybe the most important institution that we have that supports so many people in so many different ways. So we were very happy that Charles Anteby, Director of Development, and DJ come and help us inspire us on this day. One of the things I like to say to young groups is a little bit corny, but I have this tagline for today: don't Netflix your fast away. And we were happy to provide opportunity to be motivated and inspired on Tish'a BeAb by two individuals that give so much of themselves to the community. Thank you.
Okay, I'd rather not use this, but they sort of told us we have no choice, so I apologize. One of the things at SPH that happens every day is that it's all about perspective. It's all about how we can view something. Any situation that any of us is faced with, you have a choice. The choice is, do I view it half full or do I view it half empty? If you view it half empty, it becomes that much more difficult to overcome whatever it is that challenge is. If you view it half full, it somehow makes it so much easier. So what we wanted to try to do, DJ and I have wanted to do this for quite a while, what we wanted to try to do was take the incredible sorrow, the incredible loss of what Tish'a BeAb is all about, and somehow try to use that and figure out how to make it half full. What I mean by that is it's impossible for any of us to ever figure out a way to put a positive spin on something as incredibly painful as the loss of the death of the daughter. But what we wanted to try to do is see how each and every one of us can take the message of Tish'a BeAb, to take the lessons of Tish'a BeAb, and somehow turn those into something that we can build on. Because our feeling was that if we don't, then we're missing the whole thing. What this is not about is commemorating something that happened thousands of years ago. What this is about is figuring out how to learn from something that happened to make ourselves better. And I think and I believe that's really the message of what today is all about. So what I'd like to do is call on my partner in crime to begin our presentation.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, SCA. And thank you, everyone, for coming out today. It's a very hard day. I'm sure you're all starving. And you all don't want to smell each other breathing. So, the message that Charles introduced to us is, overcoming challenges and learning through these challenges. And seeing and being amazed at what's inside you. What are the possibilities that you have inside? Because I've met so many people so many new people, since I was diagnosed last February with cancer, and that it's amazing. It's amazing what kind of talent everyone has inside them. Just unbelievable, from music to poetry, to dance, to just being funny, that you never think that person was funny before. Just beautiful, just everyone has so much inside them, So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. So like I said, last February I was diagnosed with a challenge, which is stage 4 cancer. And it's very heavy. It's very heavy. However, I had a choice. I could let it devour me and make me depressed and close myself off, or I can take this challenge on, and challenge, key is the wording. I can say this sucks. I can say today is the hardest day. Well, if I say it like this, if I say today's a challenge, then it's different, and I want to overcome this challenge. So, with the help of Hashem, my wife, Team Deej, you know who you are, and also the community. With these tools, I was able to unleash what was inside of me, what I had inside of me, which is poetry. I started writing. I didn't know I could sing. I started singing. We made a song with RJ2, unbelievable, And all of these things are inside me. So imagine if it's inside, what's inside you, And it's contagious. It's so contagious that I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know if you see one of my friends, Ralph, but it's a very funny story. So I'm up to chemo about 47 of them. So at 21, I had a little bit of an allergic reaction. Not a little bit, almost. It was a bad one. But thank God we got through it. That's another story. And from that point on, I said, you know what? I got to make this exciting. It's really boring. And I started dressing up my chemo pole. I got a dress. I have a few friends that are in wholesale women's clothing. And we named the chemo pole Lolita. Okay? She has a very nice dress. She comes with me every time for chemo. And I said, you know what? Lolita's having too much fun. I want to dress up. So I started dressing up. And when I get to the chemo suite, slow, people look at me like, this guy, I don't know if he's here as a patient, I don't know if he works here, and I understand their feeling, because in the beginning it's like, what's this guy doing, you know? Is he making fun of the situation? And then I go in for blood work, I come back out, I have my mask on, they access my port, and then all of a sudden they see that I'm a patient just like them, and they come up to me, and they start talking. And you know what? It's great, because they end up sharing their stories with me. And you know what? Some of them aren't as lucky. They don't have people that overcome their fear and come with me to chemo. They don't have that, unfortunately. You know, they're alone. But you know what? We help them out. These costumes, they cheer them up. You know, they're not sad anymore. They're laughing. They're like, oh, this guy's nuts. But I love it. I love it. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come next month. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna bring my friends. And you know what? That's what they do. And you'd be surprised who you meet. It's amazing. So just a quick story, and then I'll give it back over to Charles. So one of my costumes that I picked was from the movie Dumb and Dumber, okay? And it requires two people. So I was able to give it to one of my friends, Ralph, had him to stay with me, because I can't stay in the city alone. Like when I have chemo to the city, I live in Jersey, so I sleep in the city, because it's a whole day process. So now he sleeps over the way where I am. We wake up in the morning, he goes in the shower. He doesn't know the costumes for the day. He gets out of the shower, he sees this blue tuxedo on his bed. I can't tell you what he said to me. I was like, what is that? I was like, Ralph. And if anyone knows Ralph, he's awesome. He's very smart, very funny, but he always looks like he's pissed off. So I was like, Ralph, I'm so sorry. Ralph, I love you. You just gotta do me one more favor. I know you slept and you kept me company. You just gotta do me one favor. Could you wear this, please? And also it was like 110 degrees outside, but he took one for the team. He wore it, okay? And we were walking around New York City with an orange tuxedo and a blue tuxedo. I'm not joking. I am not joking. People were looking at me, and then when I look at them, they're like... And then I would go straight up to them, and I'd be like, oh, it's funny, it's okay. You're allowed to laugh, come on. Anyways, to say the least, we got to Sloan, and like I said, people didn't know what was going on. But eventually, they figured it out that I was a patient, and they came out of their shell, okay? So again, to continue on the message of putting yourself out there, put yourself out there. It's fear, but fear is false existence appearing to be real. That's all it is. You squash that existence, and it doesn't exist. That's it, there's no fear. And now I'd like to hand it over to Charles to continue this conversation.
So when DJ told me the story, I said, I'm in. What's the next costume? Tell me what the next day is. I'm in. And then I hung up the phone and I started thinking about it, and I said, I don't know what he's going to have me wear. And I got to walk through the city in whatever craziness he comes up with for the next costume. And I got to admit, I got a little bit afraid. I said, I don't know who's going to see me. I don't know how I'm going to explain it to them. They're not going to understand that this is part of TJ's craziness. And I got afraid. So often what stops us from doing the stuff we know we want to do, or the stuff we want and should do, or the stuff we know we want to do that'll help somebody else, is because we get afraid. And for every one of us, that fear is a little bit different. For me, that fear was that I was going to run into somebody on the streets of Manhattan, and they were going to think Charles lost it. But for each and every one of us, the fear is something else. Maybe it's a fear of being accepted by the people around us. Maybe it's a fear of looking silly. Maybe it's a fear of just not being able to accomplish what it is that we set out to do. So I want to share something with you. And it's completely hypothetical, but I think it makes an amazing point. There's a movie, it's about 20 years old. It's an Albert Brooks movie, for those of you who may recognize that name. It's a movie called Defending Your Life. And the premise of the movie is very simple, but very beautiful. The premise of the movie is Albert's a middle-aged guy going through a difficult marriage. His business is going down the tubes. And he realizes that he has to do something. So what he decides to do is go out and buy a fancy car. And he buys that car, and he's driving down the street, and the new CDs he bought to listen to in that car fall off the seat next to him. So he does what all of us would do without thinking. We lean down to pick up those CDs. And the next thing he knows, he wakes up and he has no idea where he is. So unfortunately, when he reached down to pick up those CDs, a semi-truck was coming the other way. And he wakes up in what he thinks is either heaven or not. And sure enough, they bring him into a room and they proceed to tell him that what's going to make the difference, what they're evaluating his life on, what they're judging him on, is how he overcame fear. That's crazy. Think about it for a minute. Is what this is all about how we respond to the things we're afraid of? Is it possible that every single one of us has a job to do each and every day, and that the challenge is overcoming the fear that's stopping us from doing the stuff we know we can and should do? It's crazy stuff. Because the easier thing to do is to pack it up and go about our merry way. Doing the things we know we do, the safe things, the things that don't put us out there, the things that don't put us at risk. But the truth is, if we do that, is it possible that we're missing what it's all about? Is it possible that by not putting ourselves out there, by not reaching a little bit outside of our comfort zone, by not taking that chance, we're missing what this is all about? So we wanted to share something with you. We have a bunch of them. I don't know if we have enough. So can you pass some of these in? So what we're passing around is one simple sentence. But I think it sort of pulls together what DJ and I want to try to say. What it says is, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Every single person in this room has the ability, the skills, the enthusiasm, the energy to make a huge difference in this world. I know that because every single one of you was put here for a very specific reason. And absolutely none of you are filler. There are no extras in this room. There are no people who were just put here because we needed someone to fill the seat. Hashem made each and every one of you with a very specific purpose and a very specific mission. The question is, are you doing what you can do? Are your dreams big enough? And are you overcoming the fear and going after those dreams? Because if you're not only did we miss the whole message of Tish'a BeAb, we probably are missing out on some level with what it is that each one of us is supposed to be doing. And with all due respect to my very dear friend, it shouldn't and it doesn't have to take facing into what he's had to face into for the last 15 months for us to get the point that there's a costume out there, there's something out there that we can do. The trick is figuring out what it is. And then getting past the fear and going and doing it.
So, Charles, very powerful. And what I'd like to do now is to explain to you, through a poem called Community, how lucky we are. How lucky we are to have each other and not to worry about fear, because we are in the best community in the world. I'm saying that because you'll understand. So here's how it goes. It goes, opening the welcome mat, no matter what or where. At the drop of a hat, we are here, we are always there. Holding hands together, surrounding you with love, shielding you from the worst, these angels from above. How lucky we are. Sometimes we overlook that we have this amazing tree that can never, ever, ever be stripped. Ever. Never. Through every battle, through every bout, whatever weather, together, throughout. And that, to me, is what our community is all about. Thank you.
So here's what we want to do. I want to share with you one last picture. And some of you have seen it on some of the chesed missions and things that we've done. But we felt like it would be the right way to sort of kick off where we wanted to go with this. It's somewhat of an uncomfortable video. And always it amazes me the reaction of the people in the room. Because some people start to squirm a little bit, and some people start to giggle. And as the video goes on, inevitably, everybody who's watching it gets a little bit more uncomfortable. So what the video is really something very simple. You see this tall, strong guy walk into an office building, step on an escalator, somebody steps on a couple of steps behind him, it goes halfway up, and it stops. And he stands there, and she rolls her eyes, and then he goes, "The escalator is stuck, somebody help us." And he looks around for help. He turns to the woman 2 steps behind him, he says, "I don't know what we could do." She proceeds to yell, "Help!" Until finally they turn to each other and say, "I guess we're stuck. There's nothing we can do." And they sit down on the steps of the escalator and they wait for help. Until finally, after a few minutes, a repairman comes. And he's 2 stories down, but he gets on the escalator and he says, "I'm coming to help you, I'll be there in a minute." And sure enough, his escalator goes a few steps up, and then his stops as well. We all have a ton of stuff that we're unhappy about, that we can easily view as glass half empty. A lot of things that I'm sure we sit around when we're with our friends or with our family and say, "That's not cool. We should fix that. That's not really the way it should be." And then we all stand on the escalator and wait for somebody to come for help. Not everybody. A lot of the people in this room do a lot of amazing things. But for the most part, a lot of us stand there and wait for somebody else to come fix the escalator. When in reality, all we really need to do is take the initiative ourselves and walk up those last couple of steps to get to where we need to go. So what we wanted to try to do was take some of the experiences that DJ's gone through and take some of the things that we've talked about and begin to challenge you. Tish'a BeAb is about fixing things. It's about kaparat avanot. It's about what we can do to eliminate sinat chinam. It's about what little thing can we do to help make the world that we live in a better place. And it's not about what anybody else can do. It's about what you can do. So what we wanted to try to challenge you with for the last few minutes that we have is we want to come up with stuff that we can do that can make a difference now, here. So that at the very least, when the fast is over and each of us goes to our homes and eats whatever it is we're going to break the fast with, there's something tangible and real, an improvement, something we can fix that can make a difference. So who's willing to overcome the fear and make the first suggestion? This is when we knew it would get really quiet. All open up, yes. That was not staged. I think that's a great idea. What Ruth is talking about is we've decided to put together a concert with DJ and RJ2 to celebrate all of the incredible blessings that the community has. And that's going to be on August 30th. So if anybody wants to help us with that, either performing or volunteering, we're trying to put together something really cool. So if somebody's out there that can help us. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Come on. Everybody's looking at everybody else. Don't make him get up. We were ready for this. We're counting on waiting out your uncomfortableness. Yes?
It's a simple thing. Maybe it's a cop-out. It's really so simple, but I feel like just smiling to people in general more often. You see somebody you don't know, walk up to them, smile. You wouldn't believe, really, how it would change somebody's day. They could be thinking about that smile all day and really could change someone's day for the better. So just that.
That's a great suggestion. Thank you. One second, David. Reach it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I heard someone suggest this to me. So they said on Friday night, they once a week, when you're sitting with your family around the table, to ask children and the adults to think of something they did during the week that helped somebody else, and maybe somebody else that showed a little essay or kindness to someone that's maybe a little lonely or shy or something like that. That sort of sets it up for the following week when people will say, well, I'm going to have something with kids, and they'll say, all right, I'm going to do something like talk about it on Friday night. And it creates an expectation of what you want from your kids and their siblings and spouses.
That's beautiful. Great.
And I have two things. To get out of your comfort zone, do something that you never did before, help somebody out, or just help them do a challenge that they never did before so they can also get out of their comfort zone. And the second thing is just do a random act of kindness, do something like on the train, like if you're on the subway or on the train, just do something, get out the chair, whatever, just do a random act of kindness.
This side of the room's getting a little weak, guys. Let's go. What do we got? Yes.
You can get out of your comfort zone by training for the Disney Half Marathon. Just saying.
Great. Yes. You want to train for Disney?
Maybe you could just try and do whatever you can. If you see somebody on the street, they need help, you see a guy needs $1 or something or whatever, just don't be afraid to just go the extra step, the extra mile, and just give him whatever you can.
Awesome. Yes. Feel like Oprah.
So one of the things I've noticed about myself and other people in this community generally, it's a bit of a big topic, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is that there's become a large amount of cynicism between ultra-Orthodox, people that are religious and learning and not learning, black hat, white hat, gray hat. One of the things, just going through the day, hearing classes, hearing the rabbi speak. It's a matter of achdut, and just not the whole concept of sinat chinam, bringing about the destruction of the temple. So maybe next time we see something, see a rabbi, we're going to make a comment. Again, I'm talking to myself, because I'm just as guilty as anybody else. Maybe just hold back. Maybe say, you know what? They're trying their best. This is the way they figured out. And just, instead of making it like a war, just make it like everyone just going through the challenges. Everyone's just trying to figure it out and work together to get to the right place.
That side of the room is still flaking out? Yeah, come. No, you're next, so you're right.
Basically, what I'd like to say is that as we have to hold back, also we have to really give it to the people, because we see so many people and we see what is wrong with them, and unfortunately we don't say anything about it. We should tell them, of course, the right way, and we should really take this fear out of the people so they can really unleash their potential.
One thing that I can think of that I personally work on is definitely following up with people. If you see people having a bad day, or you get a text or negative energy from someone, just checking in with them, seeing how they're doing. I try to do it in my classes if I see somebody's off, and I'm always working on that, because being in tune to people, people feel that. So.
I want to elaborate on that, and she's so right, because I don't know what it is, but maybe I've evolved since the situation, and yes, you can feel people's energy, and it's so easy. I don't want to say so easy, but we tend to ignore it because we feel like it's too much work. Like, what if I ask him, how you doing, and then he just opens up on me? What am I gonna do? He's gonna dump on me, or she's gonna dump on me. But you know what? That's what we're here for. Okay? If not for this person, then for who? Then for somebody that you don't know? No. Take 5 minutes out of your day, or a half hour, or sometimes it's a day, you know? It happens, but it's worth it. I'm telling you why it's worth it. Because what you do for that person, I'm not gonna get emotional. What you do for that person, it's just gonna keep going, because they're gonna do it for someone else. And you know what? I am gonna show you this story, because it blew my mind. And it's not me, it's from Hashem, okay? I don't know if he's here, but I met this gentleman July 5th, okay? And July 4th, he had a situation where it was a personal situation where it ruined his summer. Okay, it ruined the guy's summer, and this person's very sensitive, and it just, he wasn't in a good place, you know? And then we met the next day, and we hung out a little bit. We spoke, you know, went through the motions, maybe we jammed a little bit together. And you know what? He came to my house the other day, and he told me, and the truth, I don't think I did anything, but he told me, he's like, you changed my life. Because of you, I was in maybe like a depression for maybe a day, and then I was awesome. I was awesome, having the best summer. I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. So guys, it's very small. Take the time. Your friend, someone that you know, and you feel it, don't you? Can't deny it, you know. You guys are very intuitive people, all of us. That's what separates us from the animals. You know, and listen, be that shoulder, be that ear. And if you need to take a day off, take a day off. Don't worry, don't get fired. And if you do it, come to me. I'll kosher it. All right, I'm serious.
Just also give you an idea of something very cool. How many of the people in this room have a cell phone? Yeah, that was an easy question, guys. Come on. Anybody not have a cell phone? That little girl's looking around. Do you have a cell phone, sweetheart? Do you? Awesome. Okay, good. There are about 1,000 senior citizens in our community. I know that live alone. I know that because we have their names and phone numbers on register with SBH. Has anybody been hot at any point over the last couple of days? That was only a slightly more difficult question than the last one. Right? Yes? Good. Who's checking on all those senior citizens? Who's making sure that their air conditioning is working? Who's making sure that their prescriptions don't need to be refilled? Who's making sure that they have food in the house? So what we started is a simple program that actually somebody in 7th grade thought of. Every single person in this room can take the name and number of 2 or 3 or 10 seniors. And how long does it take to make that phone call and tell them, are you okay? Do you have everything you need? Are you all right? Simple thing, but something that all of the people in the room, we can reach 1,000 seniors in an hour. That's an amazing thing, and if we find one person who needs something and we can get that for them, that's a life changer. That's a big deal. Sonia, teaches in. Anybody else? Ideas? So we're going to put you a little bit on the spot. We want tangible, concrete suggestions of new, yes.
I don't know, I feel like we all know some guy who's, maybe sitting home on a Thursday or Saturday night, and just text him, tell him, come, we're doing this, we're going to this guy's house, be there, and make his life.
So DJ and I both felt that one of the things that's a little bit frustrating for us for a day like this is that while we're in it, we're in it. But as soon as it's over, it's over. And we wanted something significant and real and concrete to come out of this day. So we're going to try something completely ridiculous that has absolutely no shot of working, but we're going to do it anyway. Right? We're going to do it anyway? Okay. So here's what we're going to ask you all to do. We're going to ask everybody to step significantly out of their comfort zone for the next 20 minutes. What we're going to ask everybody to do is just break up into sections. Swing your chairs around. Each section, maybe these guys do 2 sections, these guys do 2 sections, and we want a tangible, solid idea of what we're going to do today to make a difference in the community that we live in and help the people around us. And you have 18 minutes to do it. Let's go. Come on, let's go. So I need to ask you a question before I tell you what's going to happen with your ideas. Or 2 or 10 steps closer to bringing about Binyan Beit HaMikdash, which is what this is all about. It's just as simple as figuring out something we can do to help somebody else and then doing it. It's not enough to just think about it. And you're going to give me all of the reasons why you're afraid to do it. And quite honestly, neither DJ or I care. It's about doing them. It's about making a difference. Because what this day is about is switching idle, baseless hatred for no reason into just doing good, kind things for people for no reason. And we each have the opportunity to do that. So I need to challenge each of you. Because the normal reaction at this point is going to be, she was the one that came up with the idea, so she'll do it. Or she was the one that spoke the most, he'll do it. Or he's the guy that really seemed to be, he'll do it. And I promise you, if that's the case, absolutely nothing will happen. So I need everybody to take it personally on themselves to figure out a way to move the idea their group came up with one step forward. If everybody takes on that responsibility, I promise you that we will sit here exactly 1 year from now, and I will call up each of you and listen to the amazing results of what we were able to accomplish today. Then we'll know that this really meant something. Then we'll know that this fast really had an impact. Then we'll know that we were getting the message. So please don't wait for somebody else. If you want to do it through SBH, great, we are here to help you. If not, there are a lot of amazing community organizations that can give you the assistance that you need. And if it doesn't exist, we'll make one. But please, please, please don't just let it drop. Last word, Dee? Good? Good. Beautiful. Okay, so please, everybody, I wish you all an incredibly meaningful rest of the day. Please keep this going. Exchange phone numbers with the people you're sitting with. Keep this whole process going. It will make the day something that we can really all be very proud of.
On behalf of the SCA, I want to thank Charles Anteby and DJ Cohen for coming and inspiring us. Round of applause.